Let me ask you a brutally honest question. And I want you to answer it in your mind right now. If your life depended on the work you did today, would you survive? Or would you perish because you spent the day scrolling, waiting, and pretending that you have infinite time? Welcome to a reality check. Most of us are living in a fog. We have big dreams. We want to be rich, we want to be fit, we want to be respected. But there is a gap. A massive, terrifying gap between who we are and who we could be. That gap is filled with one thing: laziness. But laziness is a tricky enemy. It doesn't look like an enemy. It looks like comfort. It feels like a warm bed on a Monday morning. It whispers to you, just 5 more minutes. You can start tomorrow. But from the archives of the wordy tales, we know the truth. Laziness is not rest. Laziness is rust. And rust consumes everything it touches. Today, I am going to share a story that has been passed down through generations. It is the story of a boy named Leo. A boy who had all the talent in the world, but lost it all to the comfort zone. If you are struggling to find motivation, if you feel stuck in a loop of procrastination, then put your phone down, close your eyes, and listen. This story is the mirror you need to look into. Once upon a time, in a valley protected by high stone walls, lived a young man named Leo. Leo was special. From the day he was born, the elders said he was gifted. He was smarter than the other children. He was naturally stronger. While other boys had to practice sword fighting for hours to learn a move, Leo could do it after watching just once. Because of this gift, Leo became arrogant. He saw the other men in the village waking up before the sun to farm the land, to reinforce the walls, to train their bodies. Leo laughed at them. He would sit on his porch, eating grapes, and say, "Why work so hard? I am naturally talented. When the time comes for greatness, I will rise. Until then, I will rest." His father, a hard-working blacksmith, would look at him with sad eyes. "Leo," he would say, "talent is salt. It gives flavor, but it is not the food. You cannot live on salt alone. You must build your character." But Leo didn't listen. He loved his bed too much. He loved the easy life. He became the prince of procrastination. Years went by. The boys Leo used to mock became men. They weren't special. They were average. But they had calluses on their hands. They had discipline in their veins. They built strong houses. They stocked their cellars for winter. Leo. He still lived in his father's old hut. He never fixed the roof because he said, "I'll do it next week." He never trained his body because he said, "I'm already strong enough." Then, the inevitable happened. The season changed. The sky turned gray. The birds stopped singing. The great winter was coming. In this valley, winter wasn't just cold. It was deadly. It brought snowstorms that could bury a house, and it brought the wolves of the north. The village went into survival mode. The sounds of hammers and saws filled the air. Everyone was preparing. Everyone, except Leo. Leo looked at the gray clouds and said, "It won't be that bad. I have time. I will gather firewood tomorrow." But nature does not care about your schedule. Nature does not care about your tomorrow. That night, the storm hit. It came with a violence the village had never seen. The wind shrieked like a banshee. The temperature dropped so fast that water froze in the cup. Leo woke up shivering. The cold was biting into his bones. He tried to light a fire, but he realized he had no wood. He had burnt his last log yesterday, thinking he would gather more. He looked up at his roof. The roof he promised to fix next week. Under the weight of the snow, the rotten wood gave a loud crack. Boom! The roof collapsed. Freezing snow dumped into his living room. The wind howled into his home. Leo was exposed. He was freezing. He was terrified. And then, he heard it. A low growl from the darkness outside. The wolves had smelled the weakness. Leo scrambled back, looking for a weapon. He reached for his sword, the beautiful sword he had inherited but never sharpened, never practiced with. A massive wolf leaped through the broken wall. Leo swung his sword. But his arm was weak. His muscles, unused for years, failed him. The sword felt like lead. He was slow. The wolf knocked him down easily. The beast snarled, its jaws inches from Leo's face. In that moment, Leo didn't think about his talent. He didn't think about how smart he was. He felt only one thing. Regret. The crushing, suffocating weight of regret. He realized that all his tomorrows had run out. Today was the day he was going to die, simply because he was too lazy to prepare. Suddenly, a spear flew through the air. It struck the wolf, and the beast ran off into the night. Leo looked up, gasping for air. Standing there was Kale. Kale was a boy Leo used to make fun of. Kale was slow. Kale wasn't smart. But Kale stood there like a mountain. He was wearing thick fur armor he had made himself. He held a spear he had sharpened for hours. "Get up, Leo," Kale said. His voice was calm. "My house is warm. You will die out here." Leo walked through the storm to Kale's house. Inside, it was warm. There was food. There was safety. Leo sat by the fire, wrapped in a blanket, while Kale's family ate dinner. Leo felt small. For the first time in his life, his ego was shattered. He realized that talent without discipline is a tragedy. He realized that the world doesn't pay you for what you can do. It pays you for what you have done. The next morning, the storm passed. Leo walked back to his ruined house. He looked at the wreckage. He made a choice. He could run away to another village and pretend this never happened. Or, he could kill the lazy boy inside him. He remembered the legend of the Iron Mountain. It was said that at the peak of the highest mountain, there lived a monk who guarded the elixir of willpower. Leo decided he would find this elixir. He would fix himself instantly with magic. So, he packed a bag and started to climb. The journey was brutal. Leo's body was soft. His lungs burned. Every step was torture. "Go back," his mind whispered. "It's too hard. You deserve a nap." But every time he wanted to quit, he remembered the wolf. He remembered the cold. He remembered the shame of being saved by Kale. So he kept walking. Days turned into weeks. Leo ran out of food. He had to hunt. He had to sleep on hard rocks. Slowly, something began to change. The fat melted from his body. His legs became like steel cables. His eyes, once sleepy and dull, became sharp and focused. He stopped complaining. He stopped waiting. He just climbed. Finally, after months of struggle, he reached the summit of the Iron Mountain. He saw a small temple. He ran towards it, excited. He was finally going to get the elixir of willpower. He pushed open the heavy doors. Inside, there was no monk. There was no magic potion. The room was empty. Except for a single, large mirror standing in the center. Leo walked up to the mirror. He looked for a bottle of elixir hidden behind it. There was nothing. Confused, he looked into the glass. And then he froze. He didn't recognize the man staring back at him. The boy with the soft face was gone. The man in the mirror had a beard. He had scars. He had muscles carved from stone. He stood tall. His eyes held a fire that nothing could extinguish. Leo realized the truth. There was no elixir. The mountain didn't have a secret. The mountain was the secret. The struggle, the pain, the daily refusal to quit, that was what changed him. He didn't need magic to cure his laziness. He just needed to do the work. Leo returned to the village. He didn't say a word. He rebuilt his house, not with help, but with his own 2 hands. He built it twice as strong as before. He woke up before the sun. He trained until the moon came up. He became the protector of the valley. And years later, when young boys would ask him, "Leo, what is the secret to greatness?" he would show them his calloused hands and say, "Kill the boy who wants comfort. Wake up the man who loves the storm." So, let's bring this back to you. You are Leo. Right now, you are sitting in a house with a rotting roof. You think you are safe. But the storm is coming. Real life is the storm. Your parents getting old, that is a storm. Financial crisis, that is a storm. Health problems, that is a storm. Are you ready? Or will you be the one begging for help when the wolf comes? You are looking for a shortcut. You are watching this video hoping I will give you a magic trick to stop being lazy. Here is the trick: there is no trick. You have to climb the mountain. You have to embrace the pain. Laziness is not a disease. It is a choice. Every time you hit snooze, you choose defeat. Every time you pick up the phone to scroll, you choose weakness. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are temporary. Discipline is a lifestyle. I want you to look at your life. Look at the things you have been avoiding. That assignment. That workout. That business idea. That is your mountain. Do not wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is for the weak. Start climbing today. Listen to me closely. The only difference between a dreamer and a doer is action. Prove to yourself that you are not just a bag of potential. Prove that you are a warrior. I want you to make a promise to yourself right now. Not to me. To you. Go down to the comments and write 2 words. No excuses. This is your contract. Once you write it, you cannot go back. Subscribe to Peak Life Direction if you are ready to rewrite your story. Now, turn off this video. Put down your phone. And go conquer your mountain.